Let me introduce you to a great chef. He was trained at the Culinary Institute of America, and he is the chef at Restaurant North in Armonk. Eric Gabrynowicz, ladies and gentlemen.
First things first, we need a name. She doesn't have a name. Dana is the first thing I heard. Dana. So we're going to break down Dana. At Restaurant North, we focus on farm-to-table dining. And one aspect of that is head-to-tail cooking, nose-to-tail cooking. We're going to eat a little something that was brought together by the last pig, who was Wilma, not Dana. So we're going to cook that up for you a little bit later and kind of show you just what we got going on. It's a little graphic. I'm sorry if I hope that you all know what's going on right now, so when I crack the ribs, please don't fall down. The question I get the most is, where does the pork chop come from? How did you cook this, pasta dish with pork in it? Where did the meat come from? How do you cure prosciutto? Things like that. So for me, it's really important to show everybody, I don't expect you all to go out and buy a pig and break it down after you saw me do it today, although that would be really awesome, and please let me know if you do. But just give you an example of what you can do with all of this and where your food comes from when you buy the Oscar Mayer bacon at the farm or at the supermarket, what part of the pig it came from, and things like that. So I think we're going to start with the ends of it and work our way in. The first thing I normally do is crack the ribs, open it up a little bit to work with it easier, and take the head off. So this pig came from Pine Plains, which is just north of Millbrook, in Dutchess County, right?
Right.
Millbrook, Dutchess County?
Yep. Mm-hmm. Oh. We have added sound effects. That's not really that. Now that was the breastbone there, or the spine, or what was it?
It's releasing the rib bones from the spine. Okay. That's basically what's going on. It's protecting all the tender meat. All the rib bones protect the tenderloin. They protect the loin of it. And then under that area is all the fatty stuff, your bacon and your fat back and things like that. If anybody's familiar with guanciale, you might have heard it, you don't know where it comes from or whatever, it's actually the cheek of the animal. It's a little more than the cheek. That's the cheek, this is the whole jowl. So guanciale is cured jowl. In the restaurant we use it for two things. One is we use it kind of to replace pancetta and a couple of pasta dishes and things like that. But the other end of it is we have a sandwich called the GTL. Guanciale, lettuce, and tomato. So we cure it like bacon, which is a 7-day basic dry cure, and then we hot smoke it after 7 days, and it comes out like bacon. Every part of the animal is usable. Even after we cut most of the meat away from the head, we still simmer it out, cook it a long time, pull all the meat, and make a terrine, like testa or head cheese, things like that. Usually I don't call it head cheese on the menu, so beware when you come to Restaurant North. So this is one of the fattiest, most, yes, great word, who said it? Unctuous. Love that. Most unctuous pieces of meat. A dry cure is basically nitrate salt, sugar, a little bit more salt, and any kind of seasonings you want to add to it. What it does is cures the meat, denatures the proteins, and then by smoking it, it's fully cooked, which is what bacon is. Bacon, when you pull it out of the supermarket, always fully cooked. Like, it's just, you can eat it raw, even though it's much better, crispy and lovely.
Did they actually teach you this at the Culinary Institute? Seriously?
They do. I mean, you do it once or you see it once. I mean, not every student gets to break down a pig, but it's kind of something you just learn because you want to. You want to, bad girl. Did we cross the line there? Did we cross that? David, I get the thumbs up? Ladies and gentlemen, Chef David Dabari, who told me I was sick in the head this morning for doing this.
He's doing the next demo. He's outside trying to lasso an elephant to bring it in here. He's got to outdo you. Ooh. I can tell you what we're heating up here. It smells delicious. Just to distract you a little bit from the... There you go.
So, just in case you were distracted, there you go.
What's next on the animal here?
The prosciutto.
All the
prosciutto is the backside, or the hind hock, I guess you could say. It is cured hock. Depending on what part of Italy you go to, or Iowa for that matter. Different techniques, different salt and cure mixtures, different ways they hang it, different humidities, all create a slightly different product. So that's a little more familiar to most people as far as like what you see as a cured prosciutto. We have one going at North right now. Just don't tell the Board of Health. We've had it going since February. So we're going to look at it probably 13 months in. We'll look at it and see what it's like and cut a piece off and see if it needs to go a little bit longer. But it's an amazing thing. I mean, the best prosciuttos in the world go minimum of 18 months, which is awesome. Here, I'm going to try to lift this guy up and show you. Kind of give you a little idea of what's going on in here and where everything is. You want to help me lift this up?
That's right, Ryan. I got it over here, babe.
So the ribs basically protect all of the tender meat. The tenderloin comes through in here, and then that's separated by a bone under the rib, which then separates the loin. Tenderloin, you've had a million times before, you know the little guy, and then the loin, you can do anything with it. That's where the pork chop comes from if you cut it off the bone or with the bone. Also, we make Canadian bacon out of it. So basically, I'm taking the ribs off right now. And again, once you get the ribs off, you kind of see where the bacon comes from, where the fat back comes from, all of those things. And the fat back is traditionally used for lardo, which is, there's the back end of the portion that protects the bacon is 95% fat, and it's edible fat. The thing that's different about pork and pork fat than any other animal is raw, and basically it melts on your tongue. Like duck fat won't do that, chicken fat won't do that, beef fat won't do that. Pork has, I don't know how technical it is, but if you took this raw fat, it'll melt in your mouth. Nothing else will do that, no other animal. I think that's why it's so wonderful and able to be cured so properly. Who doesn't want to throw that on their grill, you know?
Oh, yeah.
This is the loin. This is where the pork chops come from. I already took the bone off that would be on the pork chop, but that big center cut of the pork chop is this loin here. We take this off and cure it like Canadian bacon. I said that before. Now, if you fold this back, this is where your bacon is. And you can see the ripples that the bones left behind. That's the natural striations of the belly. So this belly is maybe 12 pounds, something like that, 10 pounds.
Oh, look at that. And as you said, nothing goes to waste, right? Everything is used. That's
the
great.
entire thing is used.
I have a question.
Bacon.
Bacon.
Pork belly.
Oh, okay.
So this is the pork loin with the skin on it. Before I cut it off, again, this is the pork loin that you would see in the supermarket. This is the fat back. So it's straight white fat. There's about 5% of meat in there somewhere. I haven't found it yet. But. So weird enough, and my partner is, my business partner at the restaurant, Steve Mancini, is, I don't know, I'm this much Italian, he's this much Italian. So he tells the story of lardo is basically when the workers in the marble mines in Tuscany, way before refrigeration, hundreds of years ago, they created lardo by taking the fat back, which is all they could afford, which was the scraps of the pig, curing it in salt and sugar, and pressing it in between marble slabs, which accentuated or accelerated the curing process. And they would eat that for every meal sliced on bread because that's all they could afford, and that's what kept them sustenance through the winters. Thank you guys very much. Thank you for looking.
How about a big hand for Eric?
This is awesome. Please come to Restaurant North and come see me. I'd love to say hello. And I also have all of the recipes for the cures, for the pancetta, everything like that. Also for the ragu, if you want to make it at home, whatever you want. Again, I didn't expect everybody to run out, buy a pig, and break it down. But at the end of the day, now you kind of know where everything comes from a little bit more. It's half the battle when you're talking about meat. come to Restaurant North, ask for me. I'd love to cook for you. It'd be an honor. So thank you so much.
Thank you.